How we doing, people? Another day in paradise. Rain's coming down. Sky is dark and grey, as you can see behind me. Why am I happy? I'm always happy, for most of the time. Anyway. About being positive and not negative. The thing being is, on days like this, many people struggle. They struggle with daily life, everyday life, and it's hard. Um, and for many folk, this winter, it's their first winter in alternative living ways. Be it a camper, be it a boat, be it a caravan, be it off grid, and various connotations within. And a lot of them, a good percentage of them, will have started this alternative path late spring, early summer, because that's the good time to do it, isn't it? Of course it is. You know, those lovely bright mornings, lovely clear blue skies, the sun shines. Oh, those wonderful sunsets, the barbecues, cold beers. Yeah, a bit magical, isn't it? And here we are, heading into winter. It's cold going on bloody cold. It's wet going on wet. And because of the short days and the long nights, it seems like a very long time. Very good advice to the new recruits to the alternative way. Whatever it takes, stick it out. Don't give up. Don't let those miserable days, endless rain, endless winds, ice, snow, don't let that grind you down. Do what you have to keep warm. You will learn from it. And then when you come out in the spring, like the plants, and the bulbs, you will come out and you will blossom. You will have survived your first winter without the convenience of a thermostat, hot water on demand, and all those modern conveniences that we have known. It is tough, it is hard, and it does break a lot of people. But if you can get through that first winter, you will be able to face every winter thereafter head on, because you know exactly what to expect. You can improve your conditions to make that winter better. I'm heading into my third winter off grid. And having lived in campers for 13 years prior to that, my first winter in campers, I learned how butane gas is useless, because I couldn't even make a cup of coffee in the morning. The gas had frozen, and I didn't have a little camping stove, or I didn't have a spare bottle of water, and the water tank was frozen, and it was very tough. But stuck it out. And again with off-grid. Living in a camper for many years, yeah, winter's not a problem. Yeah, it is. It's a different kind of problem. And I thought I was ready for it, but I wasn't. And it wasn't for, I only had one dog then. If it wasn't for that dog, my Ada, I could quite possibly got into my camper, driven off my land, and never gone back. But she was the one that kept me going, and she was the one that gave me reason. And yes, I learned again how to make my winters more comfortable, how to fill the hours of darkness other than just staring at the telly box, or the laptop, or the phone, and spanking Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, whatever. Mind you, YouTube, that's educational, if you choose it to be, of course. You can do research and things, and I've spent hours and hours and hours on YouTube learning things, learning how to build things, learning how to make things, of which I have knowledge, and I don't have a lot of knowledge, huge amount, I'm not a font of knowledge regarding rebuilding my camper. I am mechanically trained and I do understand it all, but I wouldn't say I am proficient. So I spend time on YouTube in the cold winter months researching, because once I've had my cup of coffee, I've got the barn, of which I am very fortunate, because that is a dry area where, be it dry or cold, I can go and I can occupy myself and my mind. I also have my polytunnel, yet there isn't much there to do at the moment. But I have things I can do without getting wet, without getting cold, and without becoming miserable. Because that's what winter does to a lot of us. It makes us miserable. It brings us down, brings the badness out. And I get it. Those cold winter days seem endless. They also seem relentless. But there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Blow on your memory. Think back to those wonderful sunny days. The barbecues on the beach, the cold beers, waking up in the morning, the sunburn. And you never forget those. Winter is just a season. It's no longer than summer. It feels like that. We have the problems with mental health. And people struggle with it. I get that. I understand. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Doesn't matter how dark your day is, there is light. For some, the tunnel is longer. For others, it's quite short. But there is always light at the end of the tunnel. That's the one thing that you must keep telling yourself. Keep reminding yourself. There is light. You might not be able to see it, but there is light. And with that light gives you hope. And with hope, you get strength. And with strength, you become undefeatable. So as these darker days, the colder days, the gloomy days are descending upon us, just remind yourself of your son. When the sun was shining, the barbecue was hot and beers were cold. And those days will come again, and they're not that far away. You think yesterday was only summer, now we're heading into winter. So, Think of the barbecues. Think of those sunny days. Think of those glorious beaches. Think of those lovely cold beers. Instead of a nice hot drink to keep you warm. Occupy your mind with education. YouTube. Be positive. We can all stare at documentaries, films, a series. 99% of that is fake. It's not true. And yeah, many people fall for that and think it is a reality. It's not a reality. People think living off grid. It's easy. No, it's not easy. People think living on an airboat is easy. When you've got rocks to deal with all the time, and you're worrying about your water levels and how much gas you got, if you're going to got enough logs for your log burner, or that, everyday problems. It's not easy. Living this way is hard. But that also gives you pleasure because you have done it yourself. With that is pride. Something that needs to be treasured. Have pride, have strength. You can get through any problem, especially winter, because that one does affect an awful lot of people. Keep smiling, people. I'm going to go and glue metal together on my camper now. That's what keeps my day a buzz. That's what keeps me occupied. Keeps the grey cells going round. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. You can also be very lucky. It's just perception. You know you can do it. So go out there and do it. Have a good day, people.